What's up guys, Ruben the Builder here. I've been building now for over 7 years. I'm a spec builder for sale. Typically what I do is I raise capital for the deal, I find the deal, I build it out, and then I post it up for sale and then split the profits with my investor. Over this last 7 years, I've realized that I can create a system and actually break it down into actionable bite-sized steps. So what I've done is I've created the 7-step new construction process. What does that look like? Well, step 1 is find the land. Step 2 is underwrite the deal. So figure out the numbers for the deal. Step 3 is going to be design of the build. So plans and design. Step 4 is going to be permitting. Step 5 is going to be finance. So what is your cost of capital to build out this project? Step 6 is the actual building portion. So many people, when they think new construction, all they think is step 6, which is the physical building of the house. But there are so many more other important steps like step 2 in underwriting, which I honestly think is the most important step. Don't fall in love with the deal, fall in love with the numbers. So step 6 is construction, and then step 7 is the exit strategy. Whether you're going to sell, rent, keep, live there for 2 years, sell for tax-free, that's step 7. So let's start off with step 1. When you're looking for land, it's extremely important to understand what to pay for the land. A quick rule of thumb is going to be, depending on your area in the United States, you can pay anywhere 15 to 25% of the final build value, or the ARV, after repair value. That's a common term in real estate. What does that look like? It's really simple. If I'm planning to build a house that costs $800,000, let's just say, I can multiply this number by 25% on the high end. I can pay up to $200,000 for this piece of land when I'm building an $800,000 final value of a house. Does that make sense? So that's my rule of thumb for when I'm looking for land and trying to gauge and understand what type of product I can build on this. Now, the rules change a little bit with a duplex to a fourplex, but ultimately that's for you to have a general rule of thumb for what you can pay for land. Step 2, in underwriting, there are 3 major sections. There's going to be the ABV, after build value. 2 is going to be construction cost. 3 is going to be land price. In step 2 is where you finalize and fully make sure that your deal makes sense. Your ultimate goal is to run these 3 numbers and they spit out an ROI and a cash on cash projection. The minimum ROI projection that I recommend everybody do for their real estate deal is 25% return on investment. And it's going to be, for if you're using hard money, roughly 100% cash on cash return. If you're going to use a construction to permanent loan product, which is a personal home that you have to move in and live there for 2 years in order to get that tax-free capital gain, is going to be somewhere around the 250 up to 400% cash on cash return. What does that even mean? If you have a $100,000 down payment and you have a 100% return, that means you're going to get $200,000 back when you finish the build. So the 3 critical stages of underwriting, let's just say we have an $800,000 build. Let's just say we're building a 2,500 square foot house. Our price to build is $200 per square foot. We can calculate those numbers out. So $800,000, we're gonna do it again. So I'll show you, multiply it by 25%, $200,000 for land. We have 2 of the 3 numbers. We have the price of the final value of the home. We have the price of the land. Now let's figure out the construction cost. So we know that this house is, let's just say 2,500 square feet multiplied by $200 per square foot, 500K. So in this situation, we have a $700,000 build, just raw numbers, and the final value of this home is $800,000. Not counting any kind of finance fees, lender fees, or anything like that. This home is almost break even. So as you guys can see, this is something that you need to understand in step 2 of underwriting and making sure. So in this situation, either the price of the home is either too low, right? Or the price of the land is too high. And then lastly, the construction cost is too high. So this is how I underwrite a deal, and I want you to make sure to understand this. Now, the next thing that I would do is I would double check and make sure that this deal pencils regarding ROI. So ROI is simply my rate of return on my total cost of project. So let's just say my net profit on this deal is $100,000. We're going to divide it by the total cost, which is that $700,000. We're calculating this deal to be at a 14.2% ROI. We can multiply that by 100 if you want to see the exact percentage. So 14.28%. Is that a minimum 25%? No, it's not. Either kill this deal, renegotiate the land, renegotiate the construction cost, or build a different product. So that's underwriting. Step 3, plans and design. When I'm doing plans and design on a build, my ultimate and best recommendation for someone that has never built a home before and is maybe hiring a builder to build this house, I would say is use a building plan that's been used before. Don't create a custom plan. I built my custom house and it cost me an additional $50,000 in lumber fees and engineering because I had these massive 20-foot ceilings and I had this bridge inside of my house. Would not recommend it. Don't make those kind of mistakes. That kind of unknown is a really big issue. So use a building plan that is for sale, right? That has engineering already has some kind of budget sheet already created for you. If you need something like that, I offer it in my online community channel. The link is right here. In my online community channel, I'll give you building plans, I'll give you budgets, I'll give you everything that you need so that you have less surprises in plans and design. Value engineering is critical. You don't want to over-engineer a build, and obviously you don't want to under-engineer a plan so that it falls apart. Now, for permitting, step 4 is really simple. Guys, permitting is simply adult babysitting, and trust but verify. That is my entire summary for permitting. Here's why. When you're permitting a build, you are truly just managing professionals. You hire an architect, he draws your plans, you pass off the plans from an architect to a structural engineer. Structural engineer completes his work, great. Now you pass back the plan set usually to the architect or permit tech, depending on your team. He draws up a site plan, helps you fill out the permit application. You submit all of this to your jurisdiction, city or county. They review the plans, right? They give back your plans with corrections and say, hey, fix this foundation, fix, this wall needs to be a 2x6, this doesn't meet code. You make those corrections and you submit it back to them. After a few reviews back and forth, you get your approval, you can pay for your permits, right? And then you can break ground. So it's really important when you're doing a build, understand that you must have building permits in hand in order to get a owner builder loan. But we'll talk about that in step 5. All right, so we're at step 5. Step 5 is financing. Financing is extremely important. Here's why. So many people don't understand the cost of capital, for example, hard money versus an owner builder loan, construction to perm loan product offered by your local community bank. Guys, you must understand that financing is like a silent partner. Hard money can cost 2 to 3 times more expensive than an owner builder loan, both on loan closing points and interest fees and interest payments. So if you've never built before, my strong recommendation to you is go with a traditional product. Make sure that you have a traditional loan where you're paying less points, less interest, and you have a more favorable product. The only thing I need to highlight here that's extremely important about financing is know your cost of capital. Project how much it's going to cost you to borrow the money. It's extremely important. Because you have building permits approved in step 4, now you can get a construction to perm loan product in step 5. I'm not against hard money. With the right amount of planning and exit strategies, go for hard money, no problem. It's an investment strategy. It's an asset-based loan. However, if you have the opportunity and you're pre-approved to buy a home on the open market, you might as well just go and build one and take that forced equity profit for yourself. Step 6 is construction. Guys, it's really simple. People get overwhelmed with construction, but they don't need to. All you need to do is find the right builder and keep them accountable to 3 main important things, or her: schedule, scope, and budget. What does that even mean? Well, if your project is supposed to take 6 months, but it takes 18 months, who's paying that additional interest? Are you holding your builder accountable? Scope. What is scope? What is the builder going to build for you? What is the quality and the level of finish? And will he be able to deliver that to you? Have all of that in writing. Are you going to install quartz? Are you going to install LVP? Are you going to install hardwood? Are you going to install tile? Are you going to install carpet? All of those things are extremely important because there is a major cost difference, sometimes of $25 up to $50 per square foot of difference in that final product. And so you have to make sure that the scope is extremely clear and that the builder sticks to it. And then lastly, budget. Guys, no builder likes change orders. Once you agree on building a home with the builder, just build it. Here's why. If you play this game right and you can make over 6 figures of profit on every single house you build every 2 years, this is an extremely lucrative game. And trust me, you will make changes to your houses. You will learn so much throughout the process, but this is not your last and final house. Don't get emotionally attached to the home. Think of it as, hey, this is going to be a really fun learning experience, and I'm also going to be able to make profit off of this. It's a win-win scenario. Build the house start to finish, try to make as least amount of changes as possible, and on the next house, you'll know what to do differently. Because what I've realized after building over 250 houses, I tweak changes every single time. It's never enough. I always make a new change on every single build, and if you play this game right, this can create lifetime wealth and legacy for you, your family, and your kids. Building is extremely profitable, and if you do it right, it's a lot of fun. So, schedule, scope, and budget, that's my highlight for you. Keep the builder accountable. If you do a cost plus contract, make sure that he provides you a budget, that he signs off on it, and you have in writing what's gonna happen if you go over budget or under budget. If you go under budget, hey, I'll give you a bonus. If you go over budget, who's paying for that? And who's signing off on that? Is there a change order? How does that look? You need to talk before it ever happens so that you don't have problems during the construction phase. Step 7 is the sales process. Extremely important when you're selling a property, have a really good experienced real estate agent. Don't hire somebody that has zero new construction experience, because you want somebody going to bat for you. And if you have somebody that's experienced, number one, they can get you higher offers, right? They can negotiate for you on your behalf. It's extremely important. And they can also market your property a lot better than a brand new real estate agent ever could. Guys, let me just tell you this. There's a statistic out there. Don't quote me on it, look it up yourself. But 95% of realtors do absolutely nothing in the real estate space. 5% of all realtors make up for the 95% of all the agents that ever get their license. They never even close one deal, yet 5% carry the entire workload for all the other 95%. Sure, you can go get your real estate agent license, but that doesn't mean you're a real estate expert. It's that simple. So there are really good agents out there, and there are really bad agents who will not help you and not work for the amount of money that they're getting paid. So in the sales process, hire a really good agent. Have multiple exit strategies. What does that mean? Really simple. Hey, if my first strategy is to build and sell this property, great. What happens if I can't sell it? Can you rent it? Are you running comparables for how much this property can rent for? Do I understand how much the mortgage is going to cost me? Am I cash flow positive? Am I cash flow negative? That's a really good exit strategy. Can I rent this? Will it cash flow? Exit strategy 3, I think, would be probably short-term rental. Am I willing to run a short-term rental business? How much is the daily rent amount for? Does it cover my mortgage payment? Is it worth running an entire business? But when I'm getting into a deal, I have multiple ways to get out of the deal, and that way I feel safe and I'm de-risking myself. So step 7 is extremely important. So many people just think that, oh, this is the finish line, I can just relax. No, you have to make sure to do the research, post the property for the right price. Don't ask too much and have it sit on the market for 6 months and pay a whole bunch of interest and holding costs and extension points. No, sell it for the right price, and if you can't, can I rent it? And if you don't want to rent it to a long-term tenant, can I run a short-term rental business and get that daily cash flow to cover the payments until I decide to sell it for a better price or different price, whatever that looks like. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Super excited to have you here. Hey, listen, I launched a mentorship program where I'm taking students start to finish, teaching them how to find the land, underwrite the deal, use the proper building plans, permit it, get the financing in place, and build it out by hiring a GC. No, you don't have to be a GC. You don't have to buy out the land for cash and then sell the property all for a 6-figure profit. If that sounds interesting to you, text the word mentor to 360-216-0323 and someone from our team would love to help you. We can jump on a one-on-one call, go over your current situation and see if we would be the right fit for you.